Yeah, I know. They kept looking him off every time. I'm like, wow. No respect.
I might have had to ask you about Kerr again or something.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I was going to
No, you guys are great. You guys are great. So, no, I mean, it feels like that was forever ago yesterday, but yeah, I know I'm tired. So, you know, and I've told you guys, part of it too for me is just recalibrating. This is my first time going through it where you play on a Saturday and then, you know, then Sunday, Selection Sunday. You know, I'm used to being done earlier in the week and have a few days to kind of rest and watch all the games and kind of collect your thoughts. So, yeah, things are happening fast, but, you know, obviously it's a great honor to be a 1 seed, and, you know, the guys are very deserving. I mean, they've had an incredible year, and we're excited for going forward. I mean, you know, got our teams here laid out in front of me and, you know, familiar a little bit with them, but obviously have a lot to learn here in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Are you a little bit surprised that you have so many potential rematches in your region?
I mean, you know, it just seems like that always happens. You know, it just seems like it always happens. I mean, the tournaments, like you can't predict how they're gonna fall, and you know, I heard, you know, Coach Cal, you know, just someone on ESPN and one of his, you know, statements basically saying, you know, sometimes you spend so much time worrying about your future opponents, and then what happens? They lose. So you spend all this time, you know, again, worrying about things that never happen. So you know, I'm not honestly worried. We're gonna look at these as a 4-team tournament, and obviously we're a 5-team tournament. We got the play-in games, and once that's settled, it'll be down to 4 teams. And you know, once we're in San Diego with 4 teams, you know, we want to try to be the last team standing.
Did you have a matchup with a play-in team when you were at Gonzaga at all?
Yeah. I mean, I think I've had it a couple times, huh?
How do you handle that situation, like not knowing?
Well, I mean, you handle it the same way you would have handled, you know, your Stanford ASU situation. You know, you kind of prepare for both teams, and you know, then you know, you'll even get a day in between, so it won't be anything crazy. You know, we'll divide up the scouts and get to work on them, and then. You know, the nice thing sometimes is, you know, rather than, you know, start game planning for a specific opponent, maybe it gives us, you know, a day or two to focus on us a little bit, you know, just focus on Arizona basketball.
Many fans think that this is the best time of year. How do coaches feel, and maybe specific to you?
Yeah, no, I love this time of year. I mean, like I always tell you guys, it's cool to be playing meaningful games, and obviously these are meaningful games, and you know, we're not going to make them out than more they are. It's just a basketball game, and you know, it's a great opportunity for us to go, you know, continue to make a mark. So we're going to attack it. You know, we're not defending anything. We're going for it, and you know, we're going to come out and play with a bunch of energy and hopefully a bunch of swag and have some fun.
How important was it to get that Friday, Sunday for you guys, having that extra day's rest?
I mean, I think it's huge. You know, I mean, I think it's huge. You know, I mean, you know, it allows us to kind of, you know, push everything back this week. And, you know, today, you know, the guys have nothing the rest of the day. Tomorrow, you know, to be honest with you, we probably won't do much. And then we'll kind of ramp up a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday prep, you know, kind of like you would do in a normal league week.
What was your message to the team last night after everybody was done celebrating, and you got a chance to talk to them after the announcement of the seed?
Last night? We didn't announce the seed till today.
No, I mean, last night, what was your message?
The message last night was great job. I'm proud of you guys. I mean, love you. You know, just how they hang with it, and you know, and kind of are able to manufacture or find a way. And you know, I mean, you know, hey, we want to be an aggressive team. You know, I always tell them, let's throw some haymakers. You know, you throw some haymakers, you're going to miss, but eventually you're going to land 1 or 2. And you know, once you land 1 or 2, can you now start delivering all those body blows? And you know, I think this team has that kind of makeup.
Did you get a chance to talk to them today afterwards?
Briefly, yeah, we met, you know, before the show, and then, you know, I briefly talked to him after the show, and you know, just basically told him, you know, I mean, congrats, you know, and you know, let's use the experience from the Pac-12 tournament, you know, as a great learning tool. We, you know, those were 3 hard-fought games, and any one of those games could have went the other direction, but these guys find a way. And that's what you have to do in tournament basketball. You just sometimes have to kind of roll up your sleeves and find a way.
How has the last, I don't know, month or so prepared you for this? Looks like you had another reserve found, the ball. You found the ball.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, you know, you go through the seasons and And, things happen. And as things happen to you, you might not like him in the moment, whether it's an injury or foul trouble or whatever it is, and it forces you to, push another button. And sometimes that button's ready. So, yeah, I mean, it's good. It's great to have options. And I love where this team's at mentally, and I think we're pretty fine. Obviously, Kerr's ankle's the only, significant issue. Other than that, I think we're, for this time of year, I think J-Rock and Rounds have done a great job, making sure that we're, not only healthy, but we're energized.
What do you think the chances of Kerr playing on Friday are?
I'd say they're hopeful. I mean, it's Sunday. So, sprained ankles can, I don't think this is like Azulis's sprain. Obviously it's a real sprain, but, I think there's a real chance he'll play.
Do you guys have a plan based on how it reacted the last couple of days? Like as far as, is he already at a certain stage of rehabbing?
I leave that to the trainers. I know this, they're attacking it. I know that. And I know we've had this issue pop up a couple times this season, and J-Rock's done an incredible job with the medical staff at getting guys back and not only back, but confident in being back.
That's it. Kerr kind of joked, well, he really joked on Twitter where he lost his job to Terry. You must have some confidence or a lot of confidence in Terry and Justin.
Yeah, no, I've always had confidence in those guys, and one of the cool things about Dalen is, he wants to be a point guard, but not everybody can be the point guard. And I'm just on Dalen and Pella just to be great basketball players. And I love the fact that they have basketball IQs and they're creative thinkers and they want the pass because that helps our team. So yeah, we have options. We definitely have options. And sometimes you might take something away in an area and it makes you better in another area. I mean, I think you put that lineup out there with Pella and Ben, Pella, Ben, DT, Umar, and CeeLo. That's going to be pretty tough to score. That's a lot of big athletic guys that play with energy. So, so there's always a little bit of a give and take.
Maybe you do get Kerr back, but was there any thought, at least over the weekend, that maybe you'd start Dalen at the point and play, say, Pella at the 2 or Justin at the 2 or something like that? Is that because of what you've been saying about Dalen?
Well, Dalen played a good game. It was great at the right time, but Justin will still, if Kerr didn't play, Justin will still start. Let's not forget, Justin played a really good semifinal game against Colorado. And he could have maybe played a really good game against UCLA, but you just never got in a rhythm with fouls.
The basketball gods had showed you a video of Omar the last 3 games in October. Would you have believed it?
Yeah, I would have, because I think good things happen to good people, and I know he's paid a price. And part of this deal, and it's the same thing with games. Part of the deal of getting better is just showing up every day. Just continuing to show up every day and battle the mental distress that comes with struggle. And Umar's done that, and it's not an easy journey, and he's done that. And it's the same thing with these games. Part of winning these games is just hanging in there. Just hanging in there. Give yourself a chance. Don't beat yourself. And it's the same thing with developing as a player. So I'm proud of where he's at, and obviously he's a force, and he gives us a lot of options. And it's pretty cool to watch him and CeeLo out there together defensively. I think that's pretty unique in this day and age.
What I was going to ask you last night was when you put in Adama, you said you thought about it in the second half, but it was close at that point. But the first half, you put him in when UCLA was making a little bit of run there. And I didn't know, was there a plan, what is the plan, what determines when you put him in, or did you have kind of a preconceived thing that you put him in the first half?
Generally, you'd like to put him in earlier rather than later, just to see how they react. But yesterday, I'm sure, there's so many possessions in my mind that I probably can't say it with great clarity, but I'm pretty sure it was probably foul issues. That was probably the where we were driven. Maybe I had just taken CeeLo out. I needed him to get a rest because I'm also trying to protect his fouls, and obviously he's going to foul more when he's tired. And then one of those guards picked up the third foul, so instead of putting CeeLo in, maybe I put Adama in or something. I'm the least surprised person he did that. And right when those balls left his hand, I'm like, He's going to make that. So, it's a cool moment for him and a great moment for our team, because when you have something happen like that, these seasons are long. And these guys are together a lot. When they see one of their brothers step up and have a moment, it kind of ignites the whole group. So, I'm happy for Adama, and hopefully this adds some fuel to his fire and lets him know he's on the right path, and eventually he's going to be a great player at Arizona.
With apologies to whoever feels they're the favorite to win this all, a lot of the experts say that there's like 8 or 10, 12 teams that can win it all because it's so crazy at the top. Just your thoughts on that, because a lot of good basketball, but no dominant.
We got a room full of experts here. What do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, listen, it's so hard to say. I mean, obviously there's a group of teams that have maybe separated themselves and physically, they look the part. And I think we're in that group. But there is a lot of parity, and you look at all these games, they're going to be tough. I've been in these 116 games. They're no cakewalk. I mean, these are the teams that are making the NCAA tournament and the 14, 15, 16 seeds. They're on a roll. They just won their conference tournament, and they're feeling really good about themselves. So there is no cakewalks. And then obviously, if you find a way to get through that one, those 8, 9 games, it's like playing Colorado or Oregon, or whatever, like a really good team, or maybe a team that even had a better season than that. So, yeah, I mean, that's why I think last week was so important for us to have those 3 tough games that were all a little bit different, but for us to find a way.
This is getting way ahead hypothetically, but the fact that the East and the West meet each other in the semifinals, do you even look at that and consider,
No.
hey, if you
No. I don't do hypotheticals, Bruce.
Well, I think you said, earlier in the season, if you play Gonzaga, you'd be happy to be playing.
Listen,
It would be in the championship.
I just know this. I was with Fewy, Munns, and Leon Tuesday night in Vegas. We had our little time together, which was pretty cool because, each of us had won the conference regular season. We're trying to win the conference. And then, unfortunately, I think Munns lost by 1 point, and he was the last one. So, we were sitting there, and, Leon's a great, Leon is much better living in hypotheticals than I am, by the way. Not that you guys know him, but he was just like, oh, I hope we don't end up, with one of you two, and I was like, Leon, come on.
Obviously, you helped prep Mark Phelan as an assistant. You've got Coach Rob, who's done it for so many years. Murph has done it for so many years. Can you talk to us about how you guys are going to work together and how you lean on them with their experience?
Yeah, I mean, when you get in these, this time of year, it's all hands on deck. And we'll have lead scouts for each team that'll have a support person, and then they'll work with me, throughout the week on, and then I'll do a lot myself too. I like watching stuff. I like figuring it out. I trust my eyes, and I know what decisions I'm going to ultimately be comfortable with, and then I bounce them off those guys. They bounce them off me, and we make final decisions. So, it'll definitely be a group effort for sure.
The cross-pollination, what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I definitely ask them, but if they have ideas for this or that. But at the end of the day, I think I have a certain way that I'm comfortable doing things. I've been doing it, I know it's my first year as a head coach, but I've been in it for 22 years. This is my 23rd year. So, I have a way my mind works with it, and so I try to make sure that we're kind of, doing things that are going to work to my mind. But we work independently too. I mean, we don't ever sit and watch film together as a staff. I mean, to me, that's a big waste of time because you just end up in all these pointless arguments and conversations. So we work individually, then we get together and collect our ideas and then hammer them out, and that's just how I prefer to do it.
Is your message made easier this week at all by what happened in Virginia a couple of years ago with the 116?
So you're going to really bring that up? No, honestly, we're not even going to talk about it. I mean, no. Here's the deal. We're in attack mode. That's it. No, there's nothing. What are we protecting? We haven't done anything. I mean, the Pac-12 regular season is done. Pac-12 tournament's done. We don't start out on the scoreboard 8-0 or 12-0 because we won those. So it's 0-0, us against Wright State or Bryant, and we're going to go for it.
I don't know if nice is the word, but is it nice to be able to face a team that you haven't faced 3 times already in terms of practice?
I mean, it goes both ways, right? I mean, sometimes it is nice having familiarity with your opponent, you know, and but also sometimes it's nice where, you know, they don't really know you and as well. So, yeah, I mean, you know, so it kind of works both ways, and you know, hopefully, you know, we're hard to play against, and you know, and these teams obviously, I mean, they're probably not, honestly, Wright State and Bryant, probably Arizona's probably not even on their radar right now. They're probably looking right now 100% at Wednesday. How do we advance? And then they'll probably figure out Wednesday after the game when they jump on that plane and have to fly from Dayton to San Diego how it's going to look.
So in this journey, maybe even the most recent months, have you received any messages or spoken to somebody that you said, wow, this guy's calling to say hello and congratulations? You know, someone you probably didn't even know. Does that make sense? Because everyone wants to congratulate you.
Well, I mean, some of my favorite ones, you know, Coach Candrea. Not that he's one of them. He's always in constant contact with me. Steve Kerr, you know, he's giving me stuff after every game, and you know, he's watching close and asking questions. You know, Tito Francona, he's been great. You know, he even snuck up there for a day, and you know, and he was hoping the lockout would last a few more days so he could stay the whole weekend, but it didn't. You know, and so we had a good evening together Wednesday. It was a ton of fun. You know, David Blatt is a good friend of mine who you know, who's always giving me little nuggets and a lot of advice. So, you know, and then obviously I got my Gonzaga crew, and then other than that, you know, it's a pretty select group, pretty tight. I keep it pretty tight. You can't be listening to everybody. So.
What Arizona person made the first contact with you last April
In what regards? When?
in the pursuit of this job?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a joint call, you know. I mean, I don't know, a couple days after we lost the NCAA tournament, and it was from you know, President Robbins and Dave. I think they were together and they called me. I mean, I don't know, is anything random at that point? So, I mean, it was obviously we had lost, and I got home, and you know, it was probably Wednesday or Thursday of that week, and yeah, they called. You know, I don't know the timeline or anything, but it's been a whirlwind since. So, all right, guys.